Pop your champagne because, knock on wood, the Broncos have finally found a franchise right tackle in the signing of Mike McGlinchey. Welcome into the Broncos Breakdown. Matthew Peterson here with a lot of free agency news to recap. After a slow first 45 minutes to the legal tampering, now we got some fireworks going off as the Broncos have gone out and signed Mike McGlinchey, a starting right tackle, the best one on the board in my opinion. Ben Powers to fill in for Dalton Risner at left guard. And then Jarrett Stidham is the new backup quarterback, plus some trade rumors at the end of the show. But let's get through it, guys, because Diana Rossini, she was the one that broke the very good news in Mile High that right tackle Mike McGlinchey is expected to sign with the Denver Broncos. Remember, no one can actually put pen to paper until 4 o'clock Eastern on Wednesday. Every once in a while, we do get a change. Shout out Randy Gregory last year from Dallas to Denver. But here are the contract details for Mike McGlinchey. It's a 5-year, $87.5 million contract. That's an average of $17.5 million a season, which I think is a pretty good deal for Mike McGlinchey, a former first-round pick for the Niners. He has been there. He has been the anchor on the right side of the offensive line. He has been one of the best tackles in football. Guaranteed $50 million. I love this signing. Make it clear right now. Put it on a highway billboard. I love Mike McGlinchey to Denver. PFF grades in 2022. We'll flash them on screen for you guys. He was the 35th best offensive tackle. Remember, PFF, you only use it when it fits your narrative. So right now, PFF, they're on the wrong side of history for McGlinchey, but I have no concerns. I am very excited for this move. The overall PFF grades for McGlinchey in his 5-year career, I mean, he has been steadily right there in the 70s, which for PFF is pretty good. Don't look at that as like a C average or something. Much more like a high B plus if we're going by a school lettering system, school grading system. Now, the offensive line depth chart with the McGlinchey signing looks like this. I think Ben Powers is your starting left guard after signing him. It's going to pretty much close the door on the possibility of Risner returning, and Mike McGlinchey takes over at right tackle. We will not have a repeat of last year of hoping that Billy Turner would be healthy and hoping he would be all right. No, that is an offensive line I can get behind, right? You get Garrett Bowles back healthy, okay? You get Ben Powers at left guard. Cushenberry I still have concerns over, but maybe with the contract year coming up, he plays his best football. Quinn Miners is awesome at right guard, and McGlinchey probably / definitely your new best player on the offensive line, holding down the right side of the line. We had 3 signings happen in the span of 30 minutes for the Broncos. McGlinchey, Ben Powers, and Jarrett Stidham. Get your red pen out and grade them for me. I'm giving an A. I really am. I don't want to get too drunk on the Kool-Aid, but what was the Broncos' biggest priority this offseason? Fix the offensive line. And what do they do in the first 90 minutes? They sign a starting left guard and an awesome starting right tackle. That's an A from me right there. So with that, we got now the Ben Powers segment of today's show. Mike Kliss tweeted out that the Broncos kick off free agency with intention to sign Ravens left guard Ben Powers to a 4-year contract per source. He's from Wichita, so closer to home, went to OU. We know George Paton loves his Oklahoma Sooners. Sean Payton values guards in his offensive scheme. It's a good move for the Broncos. It's not an overly expensive contract. We'll look at the depth chart one more time right now. I'm excited about this. I really am. I'm not just trying to boost everyone's egos and be the all-time homer right now, but ladies and gentlemen, these are good moves. Trust me. Look at Ben Powers, his 2022 PFF grades and stats. 62.9. He was the 38th best guard in football. That's way higher than Dalton Risner. No sacks allowed, just 1 penalty. You know that the Ravens love to run the football. They do it well because of guys like Ben Powers. Same goes for McGlinchey. The Niners, they can run it whenever, wherever because of players like him. That's coming to Denver, which has been sorely missed because the run game last year was atrocious, and they are more than serviceable in pass protection as well. So if you're pumped up right now that the Broncos are making money moves right now, because our studio right now is right next to the Raiders report. They're live. They were expecting fireworks and champagne. All they've done is lose backup quarterback Jarrett Stidham, who might have been their starter. So with that being said, hit that sub button if you're ready for the Broncos to beat the shit out of the Raiders next year and get back on track, baby. Let's go. Let's ride. Ian Rappaport also tweeted out this. Former Raiders quarterback Jarrett Stidham is signing a 2-year, $10 million deal with the Broncos, choosing to play for Sean Payton over other options. The deal, which includes $5 million guaranteed and $4 million in upside, reunites him with Davis Webb, who he has known since he was a teenager. Cool story, whatever. But Jarrett Stidham comes over. We knew that there would be a bigger presence at the backup quarterback position. I thought they might swing a little bit higher than Jarrett Stidham. But who knows? Maybe Sean Payton really does see something in the former Auburn Tiger. Here's the quarterback room. We can effectively rule out Brett Rippon as the Broncos opted not to sign his tender, basically letting him go to free agency, and that's his time done with the Broncos. Jarrett Stidham last year for the Raiders, 5 games, 656 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions in what was garbage, lost, end of the season type of play. So I don't read into those numbers all that much. I know this much. When Derek Carr got benched and Jarrett Stidham came in, no one had any sort of expectations that were positive for him. And I think he met or exceeded most of them. So Jarrett Stidham coming over, that's exciting news right there. A lot to break down here on today's show, including some trade buzz, right? The Broncos are also going to be in the mix potentially to make some trades and whatnot. So we had the Mike McGlinchey signing. Before that, Ben Powers. And in between the two, Jarrett Stidham comes over. So like we hit earlier, Mike McGlinchey comes over from San Francisco. That's very exciting. That's promising stuff right there to hopefully find what Denver has been chasing for a decade plus, a right tackle who can be there for more than just a season or two. Let's flash McGlinchey's stats back on screen one more time because this is the big news today. McGlinchey, an overall grade of 71.5, pass blocking 65.5, run blocking 73.6, 6 sacks allowed. He was basically there every single snap of the way for the 49ers. Now he comes over to Mile High. Before we get to the trade rumors, I quickly want to tell you guys about an awesome deal right now going over on Fanatics. It is chatsports.com/BroncosZip. Use that link I put in the comments and the description of today's show, and you're going to get this awesome Broncos zip-up jacket on sale, 25% off. We told you about it this morning. Don't lose out. Get it today. Before we go, a bit of a rain cloud, depending on how you look at it. Half glass full, half glass empty. Some trade rumors starting to surface, along with a lot of other trade rumors like Shaq Mason potentially. Sources with multiple teams believe that Broncos could trade a wide receiver. Denver has had talks with teams about Courtland Sutton, Jeudy, and KJ Hamler. Teams say the Broncos are asking high prices, not just dumping, but it's not out of the question that one gets moved. I know that Denver feels a lot more comfortable about potentially moving on from a receiver, one of those three, because I do love Tim Patrick coming back, and he can fill that void. So the 3 players discussed in the trade rumors, Jeudy, Sutton, and Hamler. Jeudy really came on strong the second half of the season. Courtland Sutton was there all year long, but you just never got that spark out of him on the offensive side. Not all on him. Quarterback play was atrocious, no offensive line, but he's paid a lot of money to overcome obstacles like that. And then KJ Hamler, it's a bummer because I was really excited for his return. Ultimately, that ACL and hip injury he sustained the season before was more than just a 12-month recovery. He needed a lot more time. So you're not going to fetch much for the former second-round Nittany Lion, KJ Hamler. Sutton, I think you could get a 3rd or a 4th-round pick for. Jeudy, on the other hand, I think it's a 1st, and that's where the conversation begins because he's still on his rookie contract. He's cheap, he's ascending, and he's got that first-round buzz and talent in him. So I want to know from everyone watching right now, would you trade Jeudy for a first-round pick and more? You're not going to get a whole lot more other than a 1st. I think the asking price is a 1st and probably like a 4th or a 5th, right? Another pick to go along with it. I'm open to trading Sutton. I would like to hold on to Jeudy. Hamler, his value couldn't be lower right now. So if you're just going to trade him away for a bag of footballs, you might as well hold on to him to see if he can bounce back a full season after the injury to get back to that second-round status and speed. But I think Sutton could easily get dealt this week. Jeudy, I'm holding out for. I would love to keep Jeudy on this team moving forward. That's going to do it for us on today's show. We'll probably see you in a couple hours because if the Broncos keep making moves like this, we'll keep getting you guys videos.